Nice. Okay, yesterday it was a cloudy day. We didn't have the issue with half of you with your eyes in the sun. Is that terrible? Is it the worst? Yeah, sorry about that. Worst seats in the house. You're welcome. Are you having a good time? What has been the highlight of your weekend? It's okay to say me. That's what I thought. You guys are the best. I'm going to tell you this. I'm Canadian.
We know.
I think that you guys rival Canadians in politeness. You're very polite. You're very nice. You make it real easy. It's absolutely true. One of the most dangerous things about conventions, I like to meet people. I like to shake everybody's hand. Sometimes people will grab hold of my hand like they want to fight me. They're squeezing it so hard, they're pushing their thumb into the back bone. They're breaking my hand. One time I hurt my hand, and I had it all wrapped up, and I would kind of go, "Hey, nice to meet you," and they would grab it and squeeze for all the. What are you doing? It's not handshakes. Let me guide. You guys know this. I don't have to tell you this. Firm handshake. I'm holding your hand. I want to be your friend. When you're squeezing it, it's like we're gonna fight. We gotta fight. I haven't had that problem one time here. It's a record. You guys are amazing. Also, I've seen some really amazing costumes. I'm looking at one right now. The lovely lady in white. You're looking really good. Super spooky. Super pretty. You too. Yeah, it's you. I saw an Iron Man getting dressed from the trunk of his car on the way in. Has anybody seen this Iron Man yet? Yeah. Tell him to come by my table. I want to take a closer look. Okay. Today, you, me, this is our time. Our personal time we get to spend together. You have some questions that cannot be Googled. Yesterday, I was asked a question. Does anybody remember what that question was? What was that question? Right. Yesterday, I was asked a question that I'd never been asked before. If I was a cookie, what kind of cookie would I be? Good question. I have a prediction. I think today, someone else is going to ask me a question I've never been asked before. All right, let's go. Who is the first? Who was the first? Right here, gentlemen.
Hello. I have 2 questions.
That's not allowed, but I'm going to allow it. Okay, go. 2 questions.
Okay. How was it to film Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Because I heard you played a role in it.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the impact of the role you played?
Okay. I had a role in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I also had a role in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. And I accidentally spoiled it. It was supposed to be a surprise. James Gunn said, let's do this together, but don't tell anybody, it's going to be a surprise. I said, okay. And I spoiled it at a convention. So he called me up and said, hey, would you like to come and do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? I said, yes. He said, can you keep your mouth shut this time? Yes. So I'm not going to tell you anything about my role in Guardians of the Galaxy. Except for that, where I was doing my bit, it was in a studio just outside of Atlanta, right next to where we were doing our bit. They had a spaceship up on a gimbal, meaning that when you get inside and you're inside a spaceship, you don't have to pretend to turn because the whole spaceship turns and the whole spaceship shakes. When things going on, everybody's moving because it's actually moving like a spaceship. It was right next door. So what did we do? My brother was with me. We went in there. We took a whole bunch of pictures. And outside the window was all green screen. And so my brother downloaded an app and put space out there. So maybe I'll leak some photos that make it look like I have more of a role than I actually do. We'll see what happens. Who's next?
Hi, Nathan.
Hello.
Firefly or Spectrum, and why?
Firefly, because Spectrum's not real. Firefly was real. But imagine, if you will, you're a little boy and you, or a little girl, and you have dreams of wanting, like, oh, when I grow up, I'd love to be on a spaceship, or I would love to be in a Western, or I'd like to be riding a horse, or shooting a gun, or getting shot, and all the things they do on TV. I got to do everything I wanted to do on TV in the first episode of Firefly. I had a list of all the things I wanted to do. I crossed everything. I wanted to ride a horse, check. I wanted to get shot, check. I wanted to shoot someone, check. I actually got to shoot a horse, check. That wasn't actually on my list, it was just a bonus. But imagine now, you get to do all those things you dreamed about, and then you make friends on that show, and you laugh and you hang out for, oh, has it been 14 years? I think it's 14 years. It's 15 years. 15 years, guys. Wow, thank you. Thank you, by the way, for you, because if it wasn't for you, I'd be talking about it, no one would know what I was talking about. But Alan Tudyk, my friend from that show, calls me up and says, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we did a show where we were two guys on a sci-fi show that failed, and we get to play it all over again. We get to do everything all over again. It was a lot of fun. So Spectrum was good for that. Just guys hanging out, having fun. Next question, who's that?
Hi, Nathan. Question, during Castle, there was a lot of like...
First of all, New Jersey.
Yes. There's in Castle, there's a lot of little tidbits of Firefly involved in it. Sometimes you do little jokes or stuff like that. Was that more the writers wanting to do that, or are you wanting to incorporate that into the show?
Typically, if it had to do, we had a Halloween episode in season 2 where I was dressed up like Malcolm Reynolds. That was entirely the writers saying, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to do a little nudge and a nod to the role you played in Firefly. Also, we had a Halloween party at the end of that episode. John Huertas was dressed as his character from an army show that he did. Seamus Dever was dressed as a doctor. He had a role on General Hospital where he played a doctor. We were all dressed as former roles we had. So it got even deeper than the references that some of you might know. There was other times when there was an instance where I had to, I think I talked about this yesterday, where I had to speak Chinese in an episode of Castle, and someone said, how do you know Chinese? And the line was something like, oh, I spent a summer abroad. And I said, we're missing an opportunity here, guys. How about if I just said, oh, from this old TV show I used to love? Yeah. Another time, Martha and Alexis were going to go to a spa called the Serenity Spa. And I said, oh, that's amazing. What is that? And she said, my mother says, you've never heard of the Serenity? And I wanted to do this where I go, look right into camera, just for a second. They didn't let me do that. But I wanted to. And I've done other projects. I did a little bit of Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. The writer-director, super nice guy, threw in a direct Firefly. He said, oh, this show got canceled, just like Firefly. And I said, this is great, I'd love to reference it, but let's be a little sneakier about it. So we changed the line to something like, oh yeah, Hercules, something about the Hercules, best show on TV, so obviously, canceled. And everybody knew exactly what we were talking about. Right? When you saw that movie, you went, oh, I'm in on the joke. Good stuff, guys. Who's next? Who's up? Over here.
Hi, I do have a question because
First of all, I love your costume.
Thank you, pardon. But I'm an aspired voice actor. My question is, you did Steve Trevor in the Wonder Woman movie.
I sure did.
And you have done Hal Jordan in
I sure
as Green
did.
Lantern. But your voice is pretty much the same in both roles.
It sure is.
Also, it feels different, like two totally different characters.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
How do you do that? That's a good question. So much of the work is done before I ever get there. I just try to make it sound real, make it sound living. That's my job. make it sound like it's the first time I said it, or it's something I naturally said rather than I'm reading it off the page. Hal Jordan, I really enjoy his attitude because he's not this grand guy. He's a test pilot for the military, tests planes. He's got balls of steel. And that's actually what they're looking for in the Green Lantern Corps. You can't be afraid. Fear is the enemy of will. So this guy is just kind of really super cocky. And that's his superpower. Oh, the ring helps though. Enjoy that. Who's up?
Hi.
Hello.
I have a statement before I ask my question.
Okay.
I'm an aspiring actor and you inspired me to do acting, so I wanted to say thank you.
Thank
for
you.
That. My question is what...
Wait. Are you any good?
I hope so. What was the funniest / weirdest thing to ever happen on the set of Castle or Firefly or any of the work that you've done?
I mean, I don't know how funny it is. My pants used to split a lot on Firefly. They were not forgiving, those pants. They were made of canvas. They were really rough. I remember the pants were always kind of problematic. And just the fact that we were always in the desert somewhere. There was a Safe, I believe, was the episode. Safe was the episode where we lost River. Remember that? And we were making a big deal on cattle, and there was a big shootout. We had to kind of dive and hit the dirt, and there's the money over there, and we had to scramble over and grab the money. And I went home with so much sand in my pants. I couldn't believe it. These pants are good for nothing except for catching sand, apparently. That's what they're best at. I had to scoop up Jewel one time. She was shot. I had to scoop her up and carry her, and rip, there go my pants. One time we were shooting a war scene out in the desert, and I was just taking a break, and I sat on a rock, and rip. I was like, oh man. And then one time I was just standing there, and I wasn't doing anything, and they just ripped. There was nothing happened. But the funniest, I mean, geez, I worked 10 months a year for 8 years. What was the funniest thing? It's so hard to remember one thing. Let me think. Here's something funny. Stana once played a practical joke on Seamus Dever. She convinced him that in an upcoming episode, he was going to go undercover as a male stripper. Seamus Dever is a vegan, so he has a very restrictive diet that he restricted even more, knowing he was going to be next to naked on television. Then Wardrobe sent him a bunch of tiny little things to try on for his scene, and he's going, really? This is, oh my God, what am I? And on one of them it said, gotcha. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Because the poor guy tortured himself for weeks.
Hi, first of all, happy birthday for last Monday.
Thank you. I'm 46, guys. 46.
What were some of the most fun stunts to do during your career?
Fun stunts. It used to be that I wanted to do every stunt. I wanted to do every stunt. Like, oh, there's a stunt? Let me do it. I'll do that stunt. And then I got kicked in the knee one time on Buffy. I punched out Spike. Boom, you punch out Spike, and his stuntman comes in and goes, whoa, and falls down. He kicked me right in the knee. Boom. And then we did another take, and I punched him again, and he fell down, kicked me right in the knee, same knee. I was like, oh, it never got better. It never got better. And after that, I say, you know what would be great is if maybe the stunt guy did this one. And if a stuntman comes to work, and you say, I'll do the stunt, he doesn't get paid to do the stunt. So you're literally taking work away from him. So I will say, if I actually want to do a stunt, I'll say, let him do it like 2 or 3 times. I'll make sure it's safe. And then maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try it after that. But in the last couple of years of Castle, I had a double. His name is Paul Scott. You can look him up. He looks very much like me. He's got very much the same color hair. They would style it the same way. They would dress him up like me. People have mistaken me for him in the streets and him for me. We get mistaken for each other all the time. The episode in Paris where Alexis gets kidnapped, there's a shot of Castle running down the street in Paris. That wasn't me. That was Paul Scott. They flew him to Paris to run down the street because I was still working in LA. And I said, wait a second. Then why am I ever running down the street? That sounds like a job for Paul. Who's that? Hey, Sophie.
Hey, I was wondering, something you never did and that you would want to do. Something crazy.
Something I never did and would want to do. Any character, Sith or Jedi, that manipulates a lightsaber. I would like to do that. Thank you. I have a new list of things I want to do on TV. Because I had to make a new list. Where is it? Hang on. Thing. I've never been people to have on Castle. There's an old list there. Hang on a second. It's here. Stories, Bill Rowe, passport information. Where's my list? Hang on a second. Packing for vacation, New York trip. Oh, I gotta call him. 2011? Oh, that's a late call. Where's my mini stories from Dr. Bush from the town in Norway? Okay, I can't find my list. Things to do on film. Boom. Land a plane. Play my own double. What are you talking about? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. I want to do that. Hit a detonator button. You hit a button and something explodes. I want to do that. The dynamite plunger, you know, when you hook up dynamite, you gotta go, and it blows up. I want to do that. I also want to light dynamite from a cigar. You go, okay, throw that. Oh, and drop a match in gasoline. So it goes, and then a lot of blowing up. Everything's blowing up. I got to walk away from an explosion is on here. I got to do that on Castle. I can take that off my list. There was an episode where we did like an 80s movies thing, and we're all dressed tough. We're walking slow motion down an alley, and a hot dog cart behind us has a grease fire, and there's a big blast of fire coming out of this thing behind us. And my character goes, "Whoa, jeez!" And one of the cool characters goes, "Don't look. Just keep walking." Very fun. Love that. Who's up?
Quelles sont les pires bêtises que tu as fait avec
Attends. Plus lentement, s'il vous plaît. Je peux pas comprendre.
Quelles sont les pires bêtises que tu aies fait avec ton frère?
What was that again?
What are the craziest things you've done with your brother?
Scuba diving with sharks. En français, c'est que... Tiburon? How do you say shark?
Requin.
Okay.
Requin.
Oh, why is Tiburon? What is Tiburon? Awesome. With my brother, avec mon frère, j'ai plongé avec les...
Requin.
That I can't even understand because so many people say it at once. Sharks. That's my brother, and that's me, and that's a shark. We'd like to, my brother and I love to go scuba diving. It's super fun. You have to have the equipment. There's a lot of ceremony. I love the ceremony of getting everything together. You sit down, you talk about where you're going to dive, how the dive's going to go, and everything like this. And it's a very dangerous thing to do. A lot of things can go wrong. Very simple things, most of them having to do with air or dying from the bends. So you have to have someone with you can count on, you can trust, and you can rely on. And for me, that's my brother. We're never more than 15 feet away from each other. We stay very close together just in case anything goes wrong, we are together. One time, we came down, oh my God, the water, it was hot, it was an island off the coast of Honduras called Roatan. The water was incredibly clear, and we're dropping through the water, and it looked like we were skydiving. It was so clear. Usually you can see little things in the water, and you know you're in water, but it was like a bathtub. It was clear. And we get down 90 feet, 30 meters. There's a ship at the bottom, and there's a little room at the front of the ship where they would drive it from. And we go inside, and our dive guide says, you gotta go in, come around the corner, go down the stairs, and come out the front of the ship. I said, great. So he went in and did it. And then I dive in, and I'm going, oh my God, there's windows outside, and it's such blue water, and the sun is coming through 30 meters down. It's still bright at the bottom. I said, this is probably terrifying. I'm in a box at the bottom of the ocean. If anything goes wrong, I'll die. But it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and I'm here with my brother. He was just coming into this little ship behind me, and I'm looking out the windows, and all of a sudden this giant moray eel, 7 feet long, thick like this around, comes swim. I don't know if you've ever seen a moray eel. They have a huge, huge mouth with two little eyes right at the front, and they swim with it open. They look crazy. What am I gonna do? You don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know nobody knows what I'm gonna do. Could be nothing, you could be dead. And it came into this little ship with us. Now it's two big guys, me, my brother, all this equipment in this little box, and this sea monster right in front of us. Coming right at us, goes away. Coming right back at us, goes away. Comes right back at, my brother says, let's get out of here. I said, I'm watching that thing. I'm not taking my eyes off that thing. It finally went out the very last window and swam away. My brother looks at me, and I went, yeah. When we came out of the water, our scuba instructor, our dive guide said, I forgot to tell you one thing. There's a giant moray eel who lives in this shipwreck, and he's very curious. And he will come up to you, and he will even wrap around your leg. He did it to me one time. He wrapped around my leg, and he stayed there for so long, I was running out of air. I had to eventually start coming up, and as I was coming up, he eventually let go and swam back down to the shipwreck. And I said, if that eel wrapped around my leg, I would have taken out my knife and cut off my leg. Who's up next?
Hello. I was wondering, from all the shows and films you did, were there any props you were allowed to keep? And what props did you keep anyway?
Often, if I think the things I keep most from television shows and films I do, clothes. They find the nicest clothes, and I say, wow. And I'll always say the same thing. Or if there's like a really cool device or a really neat prop or it's just a really great pair of pants, I'll say, did you hear what happened to those pants? And they'll say, no, what? I'll say, it got stolen a little later on today. Nobody knows what happened. And then they go, oh, I understand. And they usually give them to me. It's really nice.
Hello. On one first, thank you, because Castle was the first series me and my wife bonded over when we met. And,
nice.
And that's my question. Do you think Castle in a spin-off or Castle itself is coming back?
I've been pitching forever a new show called Castle Legacy that has Alexis running her own private detective agency. And every once in a while, a guest star, this guy. So I still get to be Castle, I just don't have to do it for 8 years. I could just do it for like 8 days and then have a vacation. And let her do all the heavy lifting.
Hello.
Hey, Angel.
Have you done any jokes between you and the set of Castle? Like with Tana or the other one?
Any practical jokes?
Yeah.
Any practical jokes? I don't. Okay, I did one. I did a couple, but here's one. There's the police station, the police precinct. There's desks everywhere, and on those desks are papers and files and computers and pens and staplers and tape. There's everything you would need in an office. One day I went in there early and I put down 30 pens on all the different desks, lots of pens, in the drawers, in the cups, just sitting on the desk, 30 of them everywhere. And if anyone would grab it and go, let me try to use this pen, it would shock them. So we'd be filming a scene and someone in the back would go, yeah! I used to get Seamus with that all the time.
Hello. I was wondering if you were ever going to do another role like you did in Dr. Horrible's sing-along vlog.
Another role like that or that role?
Either. Like if you're ever going to sing again.
I was asked recently to be on Broadway. Very flattering. I'm not a singer. I can sing a song, but if you're going to go to watch someone sing, yeah, you don't want to see this guy. Honestly, you really don't. I leave that to people who are trained to do that. People who are gifted or trained in that area. I'm not one of those guys. Zachary Levi is. Neil Patrick Harris is. The play I was asked to be in, Sarah Bareilles, an amazing, amazing artist. She is going to be doing one of the roles in the play. Amazing stuff. Not this guy. Not this guy, not so much.
Can you tell us a little bit about how it is to portray a video game character like Edward Burke or Clade 6? And how they made you so good looking in Halo 5?
So doing voices for games, lots of fun. Especially when I like to play the games. I'm really good at Halo. I'm not as good at Destiny. Destiny is hard. It's really hard. And it's one of those things where if you're with all your friends and you screw it up, you can screw it up for everybody. Ooh. I play a lot more Halo. The first time I had my face in a Halo game, I was actually filming the pilot for Castle. I was in New York City filming the pilot for Castle, and they had a guy come to my hotel and take about 10 pictures of my face, straight on, from the side, from over here, and from those photos, they made a CGI Nathan and they put him in the game. It looked like me, just not very handsome. When I did Halo 5, they painted dots all over my face and put me in what looked like that structure they put Jodie Foster in Contact. A big round, like monkey bars, all this scaffolding everywhere, and there was 36 DSL cameras pointing at you, and they had you make every expression for every sound that you make, both happy, both sad, and angry. Okay, make it A sound, but happy. A sound, but sad. A sound, angry. Louder, like those kinds of things. You had to make all these faces, and they rendered this amazing, moving sculpture of my face. And I said, hey, can you make that a little more handsome? And the guy said, yep. So Buck is pretty handsome now. He's come a long way, Buck. Who's up?
Over here.
Over here in the corner.
When you play a role, do you
First of all, I love your outfit.
Thank you very much. Couldn't get it on myself. Needed some help from her.
Well done, you guys. Well done.
When you play a role, do you like playing a villain or a hero or an anti-hero? Which one do you prefer?
I think it's super boring to be the good guy. The good guy who first started my first job, I was a nice guy on a show, and I wanted to be liked. I wanted people to like me. It's a trap. To be liked and to be the nice guy, it's boring. To be a guy who makes mistakes, much more interesting to watch. To be someone who's human, who makes bad choices, something we can all relate to. To be a person who's kind of dumb and doesn't know it, real easy to laugh at that person. To be a bad guy, the secret, Joss Whedon taught me this, bad guys don't think they're bad guys. Bad guys think they're good guys. That's the secret, right? That's the one.
We've got time for one more question.
Time for one more question. Guys, this is the last question. It's going to be really good. This is the best question.
I'm not sure.
This is the best question ever. It's going to be the best.
Not that for sure.
Wait. Everybody take a deep breath. All right, go.
Okay, I'm Julie. Nice to meet you. Castle has a lot of crazy theories of the case. Do you have one that you prefer from the show?
One of the cases I preferred?
What the crazy theory do you prefer? Yeah, Castle has always.
I'm missing that word. The what?
Crazy theory.
Crazy theories.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have one that you prefer?
It's so very difficult to say. When you say, what's your favorite? Like, what's the best? There were so many, I don't know that it changes every day. It's hard to answer the favorite question. I always try to go through 8 years of shows, and it doesn't really work for me. But here's what I enjoyed about Castle's crazy theories. Everybody was looking at the ground and saying, okay, here's a clue, here's something, what do we know from the facts here? Whereas Castle was always looking elsewhere. He would imagine things, but what if? Castle wanted things to be more grand and more dramatic and more exciting than they actually were. Because that was what he loved about his life. He wanted his life to be fun and great, and it was. Castle was a guy who didn't have to grow up. He could remain a child and buy toys, and he had a mom, but she wasn't really much of a mom. His daughter was more his mom, and his mom was more his daughter, and it was an odd relationship. But his life was always an adventure, and I personally, honestly, truly believe in living the adventure. I am an actor because I battle shyness. I'm a shy guy. I battle it every day. Which is why when you guys come and take a photo with me and say, can I have a hug? I go, hey man, that's not me. That's not me. I'm not the hug guy. But I like to do things that scare me. Swimming with sharks. I like to do things that I've never done before. Come to Belgium and hang out with you guys. Every single day isn't an opportunity for adventure. That's not, I don't believe that every single day has to be an adventure, but I believe you can make an adventure out of every day. I believe you can have a little bit of fun every day. I think every one of you here has either come here with a friend or met somebody cool or had a great experience. You guys are here for the adventure, and I think that's what makes life so great. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel really good right now that I feel like my life is great because I get to come here and hang out with you guys. I feel like life is great because you guys are all here making it great. Honestly, I enjoy you guys. I enjoy you guys so much. This has been amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you for your help. You guys are fantastic. I love you. Have a great con.